Okay, so I want to break something down with you guys today that I see in my comment section at least 10, if not 15, 20, sometimes more if a video is viral, times a day. Okay, a day. And the reason I want to break it down is because there's a piece of cognitive dissonance in this comment, in this particular worldview, that I don't think is getting grasped. And so I'm not a gotcha creator, right? I don't do snark, but I'm going to be really, really, really clear with you about what this thought process is and why it's not what you think it is. And please know I'm coming from a place of like genuine compassion, genuine like care. All right, this is about like connection and being better community members, people to ourselves, etc. Okay, let's start. So step 1, you allow someone into your life. Maybe this is a partner, maybe it's somebody that you meet out into the world, right? In the world, maybe it's a potential friend, whoever it is, but you allow this person into your life. You see them, you begin to spend more time with them, you invest in them, you start to care about them, whatever the case may be, but you invite someone into your life, right? 1. Then this person that you allowed into your life harms you, betrays you, or mistreats you. So at a certain point, the trust in the relationship is damaged, your idea of this person is damaged, right? Like harm has been done, a betrayal has played out, maybe they cheated on you, they lied to you, they did something otherwise just disrespectful to your sense of self, integrity, dignity, whatever the case may be. Okay, walk with me here. So now we're going to get into the logical fallacy that I'm seeing play out in the comment section. So we're going to walk through this again, and I'm going to share next what the comment is that I'm seeing. So you've allowed someone into your life, they've harmed you, betrayed you, or mistreated you in some way. And then the comment I'm seeing is, they proved me right, I was right all along, and I knew it. So I'm seeing people, right, with these comments of like, this is why I can't give people the benefit of the doubt, invite them into my life. They harm, betray, or mistreat me in some way. And this proves that I was right, that I knew it all along, that I knew this would happen. Now we're going to get to the final phase of this cognitive dissonance, and then we're going to talk about it, okay? So this is where it gets spooky, right? This is where it gets spooky in terms of cognitive dissonance. So you allow someone into your life, this person harms, mistreats, or betrays you. Your response to that is, they proved me right, I was right all along, I knew it. And this comes to equal, I have good intuition, my intuition's always right. I need us to sit with that for a second, okay? Just take a second. So if you work that backwards, right? And you're saying that you want good relationships, you want connection, you want belonging and care, and the person proved you right by hurting you, that you knew that this person that you invited into your life was going to hurt you, right? How does that equal having good intuition? And why are we knowingly then, right, by the premise of this equation, knowingly inviting people into our lives who prove us right when they hurt us? They don't prove us right when they treat us well. They prove us right when they hurt us. So that means a couple different things could be going on here, right? And none of them are good intuition at all. Thing number 1 could be that we are knowingly engaging with and giving the benefit of the doubt to people that we do not actually trust. And so to that option, I will say again, it is not good intuition or discernment to give access to yourself to folks that you believe, based off of evidence, will harm you. It is also not good intuition to have that confirmed by them. The second thing that it could be is that when people hurt us and betray us, we feel small, we feel vulnerable, we feel exposed. And so a way to reclaim that autonomy is to say, I knew this would happen to me. This is also not good intuition, and this gets in the way of developing good intuition. Good intuition comes from using discernment, and discernment comes from either what is modeled to us or what we learn through our lived experience. And so if you delude yourself out of your own lived experience of making a mistake, of missing signs, you are not going to be able to detect those signs in the future. Every time something goes wrong or not the way you expected, you are going to convince yourself through cognitive dissonance that you already somehow, some way knew it, even if you didn't. If you won't sit with the idea that betrayal is something that is done to us, which means that even if we saw nothing but green flags, that person exploited us anyway, right? Even if we're really good, usually, at telling what a red flag is, what's a weird sign about somebody, but we still got it wrong, right? That person betrayed and manipulated us. That is something that can happen to us. We do not get better at detecting these sorts of people or situations in our life by pretending that we always knew and saw it coming. We also don't get better at detecting dangerous situations by writing fiction in the hindsight 2020 of it about what could have been a red flag, but we didn't see at the time. That's not how we develop good discernment. The third thing that I think is a lot more common than we would like to admit is that we go into most relationships expecting to be proved both right and wrong. Let me tell you what I mean by that. We're not actually connecting with other people in an authentic human way. We're looking at people basically as marbles in different jars to confirm or deny our worldview. The reason we feel right or like we knew it when someone hurts us is because our underlying worldview, our underlying belief is that people will eventually disappoint us, hurt us, and let us down. What we're really looking for is either confirmation of that, right, which tells our brain, hey, familiarity, you know what's going on, or the opposite, the fantasy, the reunification fantasy of the little tiny kid that wanted to feel safe, right? And so is hoping that that one knight in shining armor, that one amazing person is going to see through all of the testing and all of the fragility and just keep being wonderful and trustworthy and stable for us. This is objectification. This is dehumanization. This is also, again, not intuition. When we use other people to confirm or deny our existing worldviews, it's a dangerous game because on one hand, right, if I have an existing worldview that I'm not aware of, that I'm not conscious of, someone could be as safe, as loving, as kind, as prepared to be in my life as they wanted to be, and I would still be threat seeking with them, right? I would still be emotionally testing them. And I might have strange ideas about what that betrayal phase, that harm phase looks like. For example, if they miss a lunch a couple times because they're busy with work, if they hurt me, I may receive that as the confirmation I'm looking for, that there's no one that's going to be rocking with me, that I'm going to be alone forever, that I always have to take care of myself, that everybody lets me down, right? That any small sort of conflict or moment of my discomfort, I could assign to that. It also means that I'm not in relationships to experience people, to communicate my boundaries better, to ask for what I need, to understand what another person needs from me, to understand what I can give, what they can give, right? I'm essentially putting them in a service role. Prove me right or prove me wrong, and this is how you do it. And withstand all of my tests, behaviors, outbursts as they come. I'm not gaining distress tolerance, right? I'm not learning how to have conversations, how to manage conflict, which I think is a crisis when we look at our friendships and our romantic relationships right now. Nobody knows how to do conflict safely. But it also puts us in a situation where they don't get any sort of reflection from me that would create meaningful belonging, right? All I'm looking for them to do is confirm or disprove something I already believe. So when they're interacting with me, they're missing out on my humanity, my sense of care, my authentic friendship, because they're not a real person to me, right? They're evidence. I'm using another human being to gather evidence. I know this is a really long video and it took me a really long time to figure out how I wanted to make it because it's a confusing thing to hear and to read, especially for me, seeing people go, yeah, I gave someone the benefit of the doubt. They hurt me and I was right. So what exactly were you right about? Because if you say that you have good intuition and you say that you have good discernment, the sentence should be the opposite. I invited someone into my life, right? They were good to me and I was right. And if that isn't the case, the sentence should be, I invited someone into my life, they harmed and betrayed me. It was incredibly hurtful. And I had to end that relationship. I had to end that friendship, right? I hope this makes sense. I hope, again, that you're feeling the level of care and compassion that I'm trying to talk about this with. But I think that sort of underlying belief system, that math equation doesn't math. And we really need to think about it. We need to think about it a little bit deeper than we are because it honestly hurts me to see this in my comments so often.